Productions presents...
There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Coming up on This Week in Baseball, Stars on the Rise. In the Lone Star State, a superstar shines brilliantly. And a star in place, a comet streaks into the record books. So stay tuned for stars of every size, y'all, right here on This Week in Baseball. But this week, all-time greats make great new headlines. Texas, top of the first, 44-year-old Nolan Ryan takes the mound against the Toronto Blue Jays. And baseball's all-time strikeout king starts off the game with guns blazing. Leadoff hitter Devon White. It's a strikeout. The future Hall of Famer and his over 90-mile-per-hour fastball overpowers the Blue Jays to the tune of 16 strikeouts. The closest thing to a base hit off Nolan came in the 6th inning.
Lee makes contact. Coming hard is Pettis to get it. The no-hitter's intact.
And now the 9th inning. 2 men out. Only Roberto Alomar stands in Nolan's way. Ryan rocks, and here comes the pitch.
That's it. Number 7 is in the books. The remarkable Ryan has done it again.
How about that? The home crowd of 33,000 cheered the Texans' 7th no-hitter and his first at home in Arlington Stadium. In Oakland, another historic moment.
Ricky goes, a pitch taken, he's going to have it. He does. Ricky Henderson, no contest, steals third base, jerks the bag from its moorings, and holds it aloft, representing number 939.
Today, you might have been the greatest competitor that ever run bases in the big leagues. I say, congratulations to you. You are now truly a legend of your time. Congratulations.
First of all, I would like to thank God for giving me the opportunity. I want to thank the Haas family, the Oakland organization, the city of Oakland, and all y'all beautiful fans for supporting me. Lou Brock was the symbol of great base stealing, but today, I'm the greatest of all time.
You got that right. Lou Brock had held the record since 1977, and Henderson, wearing number 24 in honor of his boyhood hero Willie Mays, smashes Lou's mark to become baseball's all-time king of steals. Ricky's uniform and shoes get shipped straight to Cooperstown. Let's applaud action from elsewhere around the majors. Montreal, 9th inning.
Delino DeShields hits a long one to right center. Brett Butler to the wall. Gone!
Only Montreal's second hit, but it broke a scoreless deadlock to give the Expos a victory. In Kansas City, here's Brian McRae at bat.
He hits it hard into center, and this ball may get over his head. It will. Tyler falls down, and they're going to have to hurry it back in here. They're going to wave him in. Here's the play at the plate, and he's going to make it.
But the favor is returned by Milt Kyler.
Fly ball to center. Way back. Way back. It's going to be caught on the warning track. Tagging up. They're going to wave him in. Here he comes, and he's going to be safe at the plate. Well, Kyler gets even with Brian McRae in center field.
In Milwaukee, the Brewers and White Sox played a wild game that lasted 6 hours and 5 minutes.
This guy was clean-shaven when this game started.
Chicago jumped ahead 5-0. Then the Brew Crew bounced back with a 6-run 5th inning. A seventh-inning homer by Rock Raines tied it, and in the 15th, each team scored 3 more runs, and the score remained knotted at 9 until the 19th.
Shot, there's a base hit, and the ball game is over.
The longest American League game since '84, when the same teams played 25 innings. In Philadelphia, a giant upset.
0-1 pitch to Anderson, and he almost takes Baber's head off, and that'll score Kevin Bass. It's now 9-3.
Seemed like an insurmountable lead, but hold your horses. The Phillies turned the tables on San Francisco, spearheaded by a 6-run, 6th-inning outburst and 4 RBIs from John Kruk.
And so if the Giants lose this game, Dwayne Kuiper said that he would walk from Philadelphia back to San Francisco.
Deep to left, and the Phillies take the lead.
Hey, lace up your sneakers, Dwayne. And now we're going to update this week's action with Warner Fussell on the ticket.
Thanks, Mel. Pittsburgh's Zane Smith threw a 4-hitter on Friday night against the Houston Astros that lasted 1 hour and 45 minutes. Orlando Merced sparked the Pirates' offense in the 3rd.
Hit hard to right field, and this is gone. 1-0, and that is a long ball. And it's the first that Harnish has given up since he joined the Astros, and the first that Merced has hit in the major leagues.
It was the only run the Pirates scored as Houston's Pete Harnish threw a 2-hitter and lost. Roger Clemens' 5-game suspension ended in Chicago Friday night. The first base umpire happened to be the man who ejected Roger in the playoffs last season, Terry Cooney. But the Rockets saved his wrath for the White Sox, throwing a 5-hitter to make his record 5-0. A shining moment at Tiger Stadium, 9th inning.
And Deere hits it to left field. It is deep. It is back. It is gone. This game is tied.
In the 11th, Mickey Tettleton batting.
Just goes pitch. Kettle in left field. That's going to be the ball game. It's a base hit. Travel will score, and the Tigers come from behind to win this ball game 7-6.
The A's' Dennis Eckersley leads by a run, 9th inning against Cleveland.
Well hit to right field. Back goes Canseco to the track. It's out of here. Ball all red. Touch of all time against Dennis Eckersley.
In the 11th, Lance Blankenship scored on a Terry Steinbach double. The A's won their 10th straight at home, setting a club record. Back to you, Mel.
And now, fans, it's quiz time, brought to you by today's Chevy truck. New York's Mark Carrion set a Mets record with his 7th pinch hit homer. Can you name the player who holds the all-time mark for pinch hit round trippers?
There's a
To you by today's Chevy truck. The player who holds the all-time mark for pinch hit homers, Cliff Johnson. Old Heathcliff belted 20 homers in the pinch. Folks, strap yourself in and get set for our plays of the month. From the wild and woolly to April's top achievements. Competition. That's what baseball is all about. Major leaguers do love a challenge. Even when it comes to singing the national anthem, here's the Cubs' Dwight Smith.
That star-spangled banner.
Sweet. Well, fans will do anything to grab a foul ball. Sometimes things get out of hand. I guess every party, though, has a pooper. There are those, for example, that would rather stay dry than try. And now for a fan who's on the ball. It's going, it is... well, it's caught. Time now for our managerial move of the month. The Cubs skipper Don Zimmer isn't afraid to make an outlandish decision. For instance, in April, he made a pitching change with the count 0-2 strikes. With Lenny Dykstra batting, Zimmer took out righty Sean Bosky and replaced him with left-hander Paul Eisenmacher. It worked. Dykstra popped out. Man, like Yogi said, you can observe a lot by just watching. So keep an eye on Baltimore's Joe Orsolak. Corey Snyder of the White Sox drops the ball, but Orsulak must have been looking the other way. Joe finally got the message and scoots off to second. Well, fans don't get bent out of shape, but let's move on to some of our more conventional April highlights. The Cardinals' Ozzie Smith can make anyone smile, but how about John Smiley of the Pirates? Threw a one-hitter. Smiley's April mark, 4-0. Fireman of the Month, Cincinnati's flamethrower Rob Dibble struck out 6 straight. California's Dave Winfield, the best game.
Here's one deep to left down the line. It could be. It is gone. And Dave Winfield, for the first time in his illustrious career, has hit 3 home runs in one game.
Detroit's Mickey Tettleton, man alive, the deepest drive.
And a long bell. Whoa, this one hit a mile into the third deck.
Get ready now for April's most elusive slide. Philadelphia's Von Hayes dives past the Mets' Charlie O'Brien. He is safe, and that's what I call super body English. And last but not least, the Cardinals' Ray Lankford with a bone-rattling finish. Wow, how about that? Folks, I bet you all know these names coming up.
The Twins rookie, Chuck Knobloch, impressed them in spring training enough to earn a regular job. Chuck Knobloch.
Since the World Series team in 1987, the Twins have been looking for these kind of plays.
Batting average, .313. The rookie figures to be Minnesota's starting second baseman for years to come.
Alvaro Espinoza having some night. He is 3 for 3.
How about that? Alvaro Espinoza.
Babe Espinoza.
Boy, he has worn the Sox out.
Espinoza, who has been the hottest hitter, he gives all the credit to Frank Howard, who's really worked very hard with him.
Hondo boosted his confidence, and Alvaro's on the go. A .346 batting average.
Ranger Martinez has been swinging the hot bat.
Last 10 plate appearances, he's been on base 9 times.
And a ground ball toward the hole. Ripken can't get it, and Edgar has a 15-gamer. The batting streak stopped at 15, but Edgar's average has climbed to the top of the American League charts. The Mariners' third baseman is hitting .389.
Felix Jose. Felix Jose. The power numbers are there today.
The Cardinals acquired Felix in a trade with the Oakland A's for Willie McGee. And with his .333 batting average, 9 doubles, 15 runs batted in, and 2 round trippers, Felix Jose is making a name for himself. Who knows, maybe one day all 4 will be on a first-name basis. Power Stick presents Power at the Plate. Another name for you, Hector Villanueva. The Cubs catcher got 5 straight hits over the course of back-to-back games against the Astros. 3 of the hits, home runs.
Villanueva into his throw again. His second home run of this game and his third in the last 2 games.
Hey, Hitman Hector.
Power Stick antiperspirant.
Shea Stadium. Believe it or not, the Mets and Padres were held up for an hour and a half because of fog.
Can't see the center fielder. He's out there somewhere. Center fielder has disappeared. I haven't the foggiest idea about what they're going to do. Feels like we're in the tugboat of life, huh?
Well, this is what made Edgar Allan Poe famous.
The Mets won the fog-shortened contest. Should have been played in London, dear boy, home of the old ground fog. And there's really nothing bloody good about rain delays either. However, they do provide for stimulating television.
Now, Ellis, this is your big chance to become a network cameraman. Let's see what kind of a shot you can get for us here. Oh, this is a pan. Now, zoom in. Yeah, zoom in. There you go. In focus. Oh, Ellis, you're good.
While players play, the men at work warrant hazard pay.
There's somebody under the tarp. Look at that. Wow. Here he comes. Not a hair out of place.
I wonder who else was underneath that. Never know till you watch a rain delay. From a baloney Zamboni to a bird of prey, Kansas City's Brett Saberhagen prepares to bag his victim, showing us the not-so-subtle art of giving somebody a hot foot. No, hey, don't try this at home, y'all. Ouch. Our next target, 3 Boston Red Sox players, armed with shaving cream, ready to make their hit on one of baseball's premier hitters.
Do you hit any differently on the road than you do in Boston? Do you approach the pitch any differently? Looks like some of those paid assassins got him.
Now, Joe, I'm not sure that we know who those were. We didn't get any license plate numbers on this.
Oh, man.
Got bogged down. Now time for this week in baseball's great plays. Diamond gems ready to shine.
Scott hits it deep to right, and it's going to be caught by the right fielder, O'Neill. What a good play. That was over the fence, and it cost the Cubs 2 runs. He pulled that back into the ballpark.
And a pop-up into right field and a mile for Jay Buhner to run. Gets over and makes an amazing catch. My, oh my, watch this catch by Jay Buhner.
Swung ground ball, deep third, great play, throw. He got it. What a play by Caminiti. What a dandy play. And knowing of the true bounce on the carpet, the throw was good enough.
Runners are breaking. Line drive.
Triple play.
Triple play.
Oh.
A line drive. Triple play.
Here comes number 1.
Fly ball deep into the gap in right center. Long run. Griffey reaches up at the wall and he makes the catch. He knocks down a piece of the wall. The padding comes down. Griffey comes up with a baseball to retire the side.
Time now for This Week in Baseball's Twib Notes. Philadelphia's Danny Cox made his first appearance since 1988. In 3 years, a lot has changed for Danny.
You know, I got married and I had a child, and that was good things for me. That kept me going. That kept me thinking positive about the game and wanting to get back, you know, and let my little boy see me playing baseball, and that was another driving force in itself. And everything worked out for me, and I did work hard, and, you know, I got to thank the big man up above that he stayed with me and, you know, give me back my health to pitch again.
Now, fans, This Week in Baseball's 15th anniversary flashback, presented by USA Today Baseball Weekly. Pick it up in newsstands everywhere.
Hey, baseball fans, how about this for a flashback?
Back on This Week in Baseball history, Gaylord Perry, Seattle Mariners, looks for a milestone.
On May the 6th, 1982, Gaylord Perry 1 out away from 300. The 2-1 pitch to Randolph. Swung on, ground ball to Cruz. This should do it. He's got it. It's over. Gaylord has 300. Everybody mobbing Gaylord Perry as he goes all the way. His teammates come out, and Gaylord Perry becomes the 15th man in baseball history to win 300 games as the Mariners beat the Yankees 7-3. My, oh, my.
It had been 20 years since a pitcher had won 300 games. And here's this old guy out there, 44 years old, trying to win number 300. And I could see the excitement of my teammates. And so I just wanted to make sure I didn't make too many mistakes. The last out was hit to Julio Cruz, throw to first base, 300 to win. And it was just a very exciting time. We got inside the champagne. Bill Cottle, who was my ace reliever in the bullpen, called him Wild Bill. He got me good with champagne. I got him back then. It was kind of historic thing for the new franchise, Seattle.
On Mother's Day tribute. How about that Ricky stealing a kiss from his mom? Dave Henderson will be featured on our next show. And that's all for now, folks. See you next time on This Week in Baseball.
Promotional considerations furnished by United Airlines, together with United Express, serving over 200 cities in the U.S. and around the world. Come fly the friendly skies. And by Major League Baseball Home Video. Call 1-800-328-4100 to order your copy of This Week in Baseball's Greatest Plays.